Okay fellas, so welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit more detailed than usual, but I'm going to try to make it digestible and chill, and hopefully we can get through this together. So I'm going to be talking about how to get your jeans to fit properly. Obviously, I'm a big denim fan. I think jeans are the greatest pants in the world, and I always get questions on fit, and I think that something that I pay a lot of attention to is how your pants fit. So I just want to talk about a few tips that you can use, especially when shopping online, so that you can get the best fitting pants for your shape and for your body. Okay, so I'm going to break this up into 3 different things: the taper, the fabric, and the rise. So let's get right into it. Now, most guys want a slim fitting jean, but unfortunately, especially when you go on websites, something that really bothers me, if you go on Banana Republic, they pretty much all look the same. If you look at the slim versus the skinny, they do a good job of making everything look good on the models, so it's really hard to tell which fit is going to be right for you. So what I recommend is that you look at one measurement that's really going to tell you how slim the jeans are going to be, and that is the leg opening. And so typically with a slim, straight fitting pant, it's going to be like 14.5 inches, the circumference of the leg opening. But I think something that I know that for my body, for my style, I prefer something between 13 and 14 for a nice slim leg that's going to be from the knee down, what they call tapered. It's going to, kind of gradually get slimmer towards the shoe. And I think a big bonus of having a slimmer leg is that it really frames sneakers or dress shoes a lot better than something with a wider opening that's going to swallow your foot. If you go on most mainstream websites and you look underneath the sizes, usually in the product description or the product details, they'll have like the fabric content hint and a lot of other things, and usually they'll have the leg opening circumference. So now if you're on the extreme sides of the spectrum, if you have like a large waist or a very skinny waist, your measurements will be different. Usually how they do it is they take the measurement of like the size 32 waist, and that's what they give. So what I recommend for you, if you don't have any experience with this yet, is that you just take a pair of pants that you own now, find how thin you want the leg opening to be, pin it, and then you can do your best to measure around. And then that's a great way to find out what your leg opening should be. Certain niche websites like Naked and Famous will have the measurements of every single waist size of their jeans. And that's just accentuating the point that it varies by size, so it's definitely something that takes a little bit of trial and error. If you've never really focused on sizing before, it's something that just give yourself some time. I always recommend, if you're ordering from a website like Banana Republic, try to get free shipping, order a couple of the sizes, and then return the one that doesn't fit at a local store. So something that I really wanted to point out is that even with slim, straight jeans or pants, that almost every pant is going to be the same around the thighs. Like if you have a slim jean versus a skinny jean, they're usually going to fit, or even a straight fit jean, they're usually going to fit the same from the waist down to the knee. It's really when people want a streamlined look, a modern look, they're referring to the knee down. For you guys out there that have a more athletic build, if you have bigger thighs, there's a ton of websites now that are selling an athletic fit. I know Bonobos does it and Banana Republic does it. That's going to be wider in the thighs, but still have a tapered leg. Now the second thing I want to mention is the fabric of your jeans. So now, I am a heritage enthusiast. You guys know I love my denim. So traditionally, the most high quality denim is going to be 100% cotton, woven on like vintage machines. But I have noticed with myself even that those jeans are usually not practical for most guys. And if you've noticed, most companies are making stretch denim. And I think that I've just noticed with myself that I find myself just reaching for those because they really are a lot more comfortable and more practical. And something that you do get with stretch denim is that you have good recovery. So for me, I know with my 100% cotton jeans, the knees do kind of get blown out. Sometimes they get a little saggy, and the stretch, the spandex that's in a stretchy fabric will actually shrink back to form when you wash them, which is really great. And it's funny because I remember when, before jeans, this was only a few years ago, but before people started really getting on the stretch jean trend, that there were certain brands like 7 for All Mankind or Joe's Jeans that were making these really, really stretchy jeans that people were going crazy about. I remember my friends were like obsessed with them, and they're paying a huge premium for stretch jeans. But really now, everybody from H&M to Gap to Banana Republic, they're all making stretch jeans. You can find them anywhere, and for great prices. So for those of you who are looking for a really premium fabric, I think honestly with the name brands that a lot of you know that you've seen at like Nordstrom, like Hudson Jeans, like Rag & Bone, like J Brand, 7 for All Mankind, Joe's Jeans, I think you can do better. I think those, when they first started coming out as like stretch and the fit and stuff like that, I think you can do better. In my opinion, the And for most denim enthusiasts, the best denim you can get is selvedge denim. And luckily, a lot of these selvedge mills, and that's like the White Oak Factory in America and like the Keihara mills in Japan, they are making stretch selvedge. So if you guys are looking for the best of the best and you're willing to pay like $100 to $150 for your denim, I'd recommend looking, and for sure Naked and Famous, because they have a ton of fits and a ton of fabrics for something that's selvedge but also has a little stretch in it. The final thing I want to note with the fabric of your denim is that, of course, you're going to want to pay attention to the wash of your fabric. With selvedge or dark jeans, if you notice that some jeans will say that they're a raw jean, and what that means is that most denim goes through some sort of wash cycle that gives it a certain fade to the denim, right? Indigo is usually really, really dark and fades over time. So I think, traditionally, if you're looking for something that's more business casual appropriate, just go for something that's darker. It doesn't have to be raw, but it should be like a dark wash. Whereas if you're kind of, looking for something that's more streetwear, more casual, you can go with something that's a lighter wash. So it would be a shame, of course, to not mention Levi's in a video about jeans. So that brings us to Rise. And I have a little story about the rise of your jeans. Maybe some of you don't even know about Rise, so pay attention, okay? So here we go. So I had bought a Brooks Brothers polo shirt, and I really liked it, and I threw it in the wash, and I was very careful. I know I don't want my clothes to shrink or anything. I air dried it, and I put it on, and I was wearing pants that all of a sudden I looked at it, and I said, I must have shrunk the shirt because it's so short now. It doesn't even reach my belt. And I was really frustrated because I said I remember I was did someone clean my shirt without me knowing it, whatever. I was very confused. And that's when I realized that it was because I changed my pants. And what Rise is basically the space between your crotch area and the button of the pants, the top button of the pants. But different jeans will have different lengths of rise. And the trend is with Levi's 511, for example, most modern jeans have a very low rise. They sit low on the waist, underneath your hip bone. If you feel that hip bone, usually they sit underneath the hip bone. But I noticed for me, for my body type, I like a higher rise. And that's something that you get in more vintage-inspired styles. If you look at the Levi's 501, those classic 501s that have been around for 100 years, those have a mid-rise, more of a higher rise that sits closer to your belly button. So another thing that does is that it makes your legs look a lot longer. So for your shorter guys, I always urge people to go for something that's a little bit more of a mid-rise. And so when I try on jeans, hopefully I'll have a side-by-side to illustrate this now with B-roll. You guys can see that my legs look a lot more proportional to my body, especially because I'm a shorter guy at 5'9", when I'm wearing something with a higher rise. It really extends my legs. And again, it makes the shirts, like my shirt, fit a lot better, or it just looked a lot longer and more proportional with a higher rise pant than it did with a low rise pant. So now finding jeans with a mid-rise or a high rise is very tough. I follow a bunch of guys on Instagram that are vintage enthusiasts like Ethan Wong, who only wears high-rise pants. So it's very tough to find them nowadays because people associate them with old school 90s styles that are not attractive. But in general, I think that it's a much better option than low-rise jeans. And if you get ones that fit correctly, there's no reason that it's going to look nerdy or lame or anything like that. So it is hard to find, but again, if you look in the product description of Levi's and stuff like that, or even on J. Crew and stuff, they have different styles that will mention the rise, either a low rise or a mid rise. And usually a mid rise is going to be more of a high rise like I'm talking about. So it is worth noting if you're a heavier guy, maybe you have a little bit of a gut, the high rise may not work for you and a low rise may actually look better. Okay, so that's pretty much going to close it out. The best thing that you guys can do is definitely experiment, be patient with yourself, try out some of the mainstream brands like Banana Republic and Gap. I think they still make great stuff, but also take a look at Naked and Famous. For sure, they have tons of different fits that will suit different body types. And as always, comment below if you have any other recommendations or suggestions on how to get jeans that fit you correctly. Why not share your favorite denim types, your denim brands, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. Should I do that? Should I do this? No? Too much?
No. Do 4.
I bet you no one's gonna notice.
Someone will notice.
No, we have 500 people are gonna do this. All right, so I'm gonna break this up into 4. No, shoot. I think they do it. That was just natural. Okay. Now I'm too. So I'm gonna break this up into. I can't do it now.
Why can't you be laughing?
I can't. So I'm going to break it up into 3 different things. The rise of the pants. No, I want to say in order. You're laughing.